Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Right then, I bet you thought I'd forgotten all about Anno. Hardly. There's been so much more content that's been released, I figured I'd do a bit of a supplement. A bit of a bonus, if you will. Also covering a few things that a lot of people keep on asking me, is like, how the fuck do you make so much goddamn money? It's not hard, seriously, but I want to show you a few tips and tricks as to how I go about it. Also as well, I've had a lot of people say, how the fuck do you go about making a really pretty city? And I'm like, dude, come on, this isn't that hard. But, again, because I'm a nice guy, I will show you some tips and tricks and some guides and a few bits and pieces on how I go about making a very, very nice city. Now, first things first, let's talk money. Money. Everyone loves money in this. The more you have, obviously, the more you can do. Now, at the moment, I've got 17.3 million in the bank, and I'm bringing in 5,307 on an average coin. But the thing is, most of my money isn't made through taxes. Now, taxes are just purely to supplement my existing production plans, okay, and a little bit of extra on the side. What I do is I purposefully overproduce in certain parts of my production facilities, and then what I do is I sell those off. But what do you sell, and what do you what do you not bother selling? That's a big question. Now, what I'm going to do is I will show you some cool things. Now, since patch 1.4, we have had a new building. It is called the Stats Center. I cannot stress how fucking awesome this building is. Everyone should have one in their city. It will show you immediately all the goods produced on that island, but you're not interested in that. You want the big button here. Okay, this will show you every single thing that you are doing. Now, you don't need to have one on every single island. You can have just one, but you can then look at every single island's production values from that one island, if that makes sense, from the one building. Okay, so, as you can see, we've got 14,071 people in this city, and we've got 17.3 million in the bank, and we've been going for about 3 hours, well, 3 days and 3 hours. Clicking on the balance sheet, you can then get down a complete breakdown of every single thing that's going on financially within the city, that your entire world, basically. So, for instance, I want to have a look at my main town, Ignisol. You can see I'm making money through trade, and you can see that all the things I'm making money on are just building material that I'm not really needing anymore. Okay, but also as well, I'm selling some ingredients that I don't really need. For instance, I'm selling carbon, tools, and building modules. I don't need them, so why the fuck should I keep them? But I'll still keep on producing them. I can then sell them and get some coin for it. Again, carbon, another building material. Oh, sorry, I mentioned carbon, didn't I? Jesus fuck. Caffeine's the one I was looking for. Caffeine. Part of the scientist's energy drink production chain, okay, which requires, I'm trying to think now, it requires sugar and caffeine. Now, sugar, I've got some plants producing it, but caffeine I'm viciously overproducing on. And I'm producing that using the Eco Balance. So basically, I've got one plant, but I'm producing more goods through the Eco Boost. The Eco Boosting thing obviously means I've got more and more stuff being made. Now I can either use that extra production to fund more factories making functional drinks, or what I can do is I can just sell it like I am here. Davey's come along and he's bought 22 tons off me. Okay, and as you can see, there's a fair bit of cash behind that as well. So, you don't need to sell end products to make money. Sell shit in between, the stuff that you don't really need. Okay? Now, coffee's a good thing to sell. Alright? Which is nice. But if we go over to my main production island here, alright, fruit, I'm viciously overproducing on fruit as well. So the biodrink thing is going really nicely. But the biodrinks need milk and they need fruit to obviously make biodrinks. But biodrinks, milk, fuck's sake, man. Think about what I'm saying before I say something. Christ. It's one of those days today, man. I've hardly eaten, I'm tired, and I've got work to do. So I'm running around like a crazy ass motherfucker at the moment. But anyway, as I was saying, before getting sidetracked, milk is a bitch because it requires a lot of floor space, and you can't boost it through eco. Now, fruit you can. So what I'm purposefully doing is I'm overproducing fruit and I'm selling it. Now the fruit, what I've done is I've dropped the price on the selling price of the fruit just slightly, okay, to encourage NPCs to come and trade. And sure enough, Yana does, and she comes and buys a lot of fruit. But also as well, I've put in a trade quest, okay, for milk, and I've pushed the price on it just slightly up ever so more. You know, they should be. So what happens is, Yana comes along, she buys a metric shit ton of fruit, which I'm overproducing. She buys the surplus fruit that I'm overproducing, okay, and she drops off the surplus. She drops off tons of milk. So I'm balancing my production chain, okay, enough to keep these factories going, and it's forever going. Okay, Yana keeps on coming back, and she keeps on doing this. That's cool, and as a result, I've now got bio drinks everywhere, which is great because bio drinks are a good commodity to sell. Okay, you get some good money from that. Service bots as well are another one. Now, service bots are a bitch to make, all right, because you've got a lot of production chains to worry about. Hang on a second. Where is service bots? There we go. So you need sand and you got copper to make microchips. Now microchips are part of your communicators production chain. So, you know, you're going to have plenty of them kicking around. So that's not too much of a problem. Corn is a fucking nightmare. It's slow to produce, okay? Algae as well is also a bit iffy because it requires a lot of space for algae plants. And on underwater plateaus, you don't really have much in terms of space. So that's a bit of a boo-boo. So what I'm doing is, again, I'm overproducing corn quite viciously, as you can see here. Now there's 8 factories there just constantly producing corn. Again, couple that with an eco boost of 456 and they're producing corn at a rate of 170%, which is good. Corn is then selling really well. Corn is a good thing to sell. So I sell the surplus corn, okay, and I do it so that I trade in algae. So again, I'm balancing it. I'm selling surplus corn, but the money from that surplus corn is then going towards bringing in algae. As a result, I can then start overproducing on service bots. Service bots sell really, really fucking well. I can't stress how much money you can make off these things. It's crazy. They are slow to make, but the consumption of your executives is even slower. So if you can viciously overproduce them, then you're going to make shit tons of cash. Now, I've got 70 tons here. I did just go crazy and sell a metric fuck ton to Trenchcoat just recently. As well as porno cameras. Yeah, so I've not got much in here as well. Diamonds, it's another thing I know Trenchcoat will buy. So again, it's part of the porno camera. It's part of the porno camera production chain. Okay, so I'm overproducing diamonds quite a lot. I'm also having some shipped in. But the good thing is I know damn well I can sell it and get a lot of money for it. So if I load Kraken up with a lot of diamonds, that'll do. Take it down to Trenchcoat. Flog it.
Well, just look at that.
That's 26 grand. Boom.
No returns.
And that's cheap. Okay. That's not a massive seller, but I do it from time to time. Things you don't want to try and sell are things like food. Vegetables, you've got two major production chains that use a lot of vegetables. Okay, so you've got health food and you've got pasta dishes. So don't bother trying to sell veg, you'll be using it all the time. Rice, on the other hand, you don't need nearly as much because you only need it in health food. The downside is it does not sell well at all. Okay, I sold, I think, 120 tons to Trenchcoat. He gave me like a fucking grand for it. It's worth nothing. So don't go crazy in overproducing this. Remember, it costs you money to make this shit, alright? Each plant is costing you 10 coins. So you don't want to start creating too much. Now, I'm overproducing here, not through the amount of plants I've got, but because I've got eco balance pushing it up. I could, in theory, start breaking one or two of these down. So if I just turn him off and turn him off, I'll probably end up balancing it. But I'm still using money to... Actually, fuck it. What am I doing? Boom. Boom. There we go. Jobs are good. And that should balance out nicely. Okay, so... Yes. Anyway, back to the stats center because I want to show you some more cool shit. Boom, start page. Also as well, I'm selling individual material and small islands that I'm bringing stuff in. For instance, I've got an underwater plateau developing purely copper. That's it, nothing else. All right, it's got an unlimited copper vein which is tapping. It's just constantly spewing out copper. I've got a trade route dropping all that copper off to the main island. Once the main island is full, I'll then put up a trade request on that copper plateau and just sell half of it. So anyone come along and buy half of it, and then what I'll do is I'll balance the figures as we go along. Now, this is a very, very important page. This is very, very cool. You can see every single building, how much tonnage you've got of a particular good, and the production value of that building, as well as a complete breakdown of its power requirements, its eco effects, and its maintenance costs. For instance, looking here on the main island, I've got 21 fish factories, okay? 21 fisheries, and you can see them all the way down there. You can see that they're all running at 125%. So I'm getting a lot of fish out of that. You can see as well that it's costing me 21 in power to run all of those, because they only cost 1 power each, and it's regularly costing me 105 coins to run it all. That's great for when you want to see how things are going, okay? But it helps you to break down. It helps you to keep an eye on production chains. Like for instance, tools relies on coal and iron ore. I've got 2 factories here producing tools. If I have a problem and one of these is not at 100%, I automatically know there is a problem in that production chain, and I can go identify it by simply double clicking it, and it will take me straight to the factory. And looking at it, you can see that it's all going well. It's getting a sufficient amount of iron. The iron factory is getting sufficient amounts of coal and iron ore, so that production chain is absolutely spot on. So no problems there. Haha. Now then, where the fuck is that building? Here she is. Okay, back to the main page. Wah. Population. You get to keep an eye on how many people you've got, how much money they're coming in, as well as how many houses. It's exactly the same as clicking on a town centre or a monument. Now, a lot of people go, but you can push taxes up into yellow and they'll still stay stable. This is true, you can. But remember, I don't make most of my money through taxes. I keep my people happy. So when I have a production problem, heaven forbid, these people are not going to have an absolute hissy fit at me straight away. Also as well, I'd like to live in a place with low taxes. I live in England, trust me, I got fucking 17.5%. It's crazy. Fucking, I hate value-added tax. Buildings, again, you can see a complete breakdown of everything you've got, and you can also break it down as well per island, so you can see what everything is doing. Plantile 3 is a big one. Okay, you can see that it's currently got 22 buildings producing energy. Wind park 99%. So where is that problem? I see. There's a little bit of overlapping going on in one of them. So we've got one here. No, sorry, that's blah. There she is. Got that one there and that one there. Yep, and there they are. A little bit of overlap. It's not a massive problem. It's only 1 point of power, so I don't really care. Actually, no, what am I saying? It's 15 points. So power is exactly the same as if they weren't overlapping slightly. So we can safely ignore that. Vehicles will obviously give you a list of what you've got going on. It'll tell you whether or not it's currently running on a trade route, and you can see what cargo that hauler is carrying. This is why I say take time out to rename all of your stuff. You can get an idea as to the size of the ship straight away, what type of ship it is, how much shit it's carrying, etc, etc. And graphics. So you can see, sorry, I think we're coming down with something. Either that, no, I think I need a drink. So you can see at the moment I've got an eco balance of like plus 1,954, and there's like an extra 158 in power all over. But yeah, it's, you know, this building is so cool. You know, to not have one of these is fucking stupid. Seriously. Let's have a look at the financial statements. Yes. You get an idea as well as to how things have been going. Usually that's been setting up, when you set up a new production chain, it doesn't earn money for the time being. It only takes time to bring that coin in. So yes, like I said, I make gratuitous amounts of money, not through taxes, but through surplus selling. Okay? And I'll often have a trade route set up just for selling stuff. Now, I don't have one set up here at the moment, so what we're going to do is, as an example, I'm going to set one up and show you how I do it. Go to your main island, okay? If you right-click on an item, you have a minimum stock level. Now, you set that stock level, okay? And you can set that stock. So you have a boat come up, right? You tell the boat to go and pick up 100 tons of, say, service bots. It'll pick up 100 tons of service bots and it'll go and sell it, you know, wherever you want it to. So you can set up a trade route to automate this. But at the same time, you don't want to be depriving your people of the items they need. So you can set a minimum stock level to stop that from happening. So if I say I have a minimum stock level of 100 tons, all right, if the service droids are under 100 tons, the boat won't pick it up and it won't sell it. If it goes over 100 tons, it will pick it up and then it will sell it. But it will leave a minimum of 100 tons in stock. Okay? Perhaps service droids probably wasn't the best example. But hang on, if I look over here at rare earth elements, you'll see I've got a slight bar here which indicates that's the minimum stock. The minimum stock is 150 tons. Everything over that I can sell. So if I make a trade route, okay, new trading route, add station, Ignusol, you will pick up 150 tons of that, and you shall pick up 150 tons of sugar. What else have I got that I'm producing surplus of? Tea, I'm producing surplus tea. So we'll add a station. We'll take it to Yana, because she likes to buy this shit. Actually, no. No, I'm not going to take it to Yana. I'm going to take it to Davy. Because Davy, I know, will buy rare earth elements. So if I go to Vortex... Come on. And then what we do is we set up...
Crime rate has reached critical level.
No, the cops will take them. Okay. So now we set up sugar. No, just... There we go. Sugar, which is level 3. And tea, which is level 1. And we add a ship. You can instantly see straight away which ships are in use and which aren't. I'll take Fat Moose. Okay, now Fat Moose is now automated. Crime rate's still going. Well, I never. Are they outside of range of a police station? No, they're not.
This science program may be for children, but many adults could learn a thing or two from it.
Ah, I see. So the cops are in the process of getting rid of it. Actually, I want to quickly do something. Last patch DLC brought in nighttime. So we should have lots and lots of pretty lights running all over the place.
Registering decrease in crime.
That's very cool. But yes, let us talk about prettying up a city. Now, prettying up a city should be the last thing you ideally do to a city, because obviously you've got it built, it's functioning, so on and so forth. Oh, there's a point. Let's have a look at... Oh, Fat Moose. Which is Fat Mouse's rather bigger brother. So let's see how much Fat Moose gets from his automated delivery service. Selling, 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 selling. Come on, Fat Moose, give me a nice figure. There we go, 16 grand. That's not too bad. And if we go back to the main town and have a look at the store depots, he hasn't quite hit the minimum stock level yet, but he should do this time. Unless... Sneaky Fat Moose, where have you gone? Ah, there you are, Fat Moose. You've been hiding. He's gone to a different port. Now he's loaded up, but he's hit the minimum stock level, so he's only carrying 4 rare earth elements. That's fine. And he'll keep on doing that and making money. You may have Eve whine at you saying that it's an inefficient trade route. That's because you're not making lots of goods for that trade route. But that just means that he's keeping on top of it and you keep on banging into that minimum stock level. So don't worry about it. You can, of course, shut her up or set it so it's a smaller boat. Have it going around on a bigger transport route as well. Having it hop over to different islands will, of course, give those production chains a chance to rebuild and produce more goods that go above that stock level. So when Fat Moose comes around again next, he'll pick up even more and he'll take it off. And you'll just get a nice big fat wad of cash every single time. This is simple. Yes. No. I'm sure you are very patient. I, unfortunately, am not. Okay, so where were we before we were interrupted? Yes, prettying up your city. Now, the last DLC brought... I'm assuming you have some DLC. Now, in all the DLC packs, you've got a little bit of decorative malarkey, which are things like, oh, let's see, no, not the development package, no, not that one. There we go, the Eden Series package, which adds a few more decorative features. The Tycoon package, which again adds even more, and then you have the Northern Mark package, which is the one that was released just a couple of days ago, which introduces day and night cycles. Now, normally I don't like DLC, but I've already put about 380 hours into this game. They can fucking have an extra 10-15 quid. I don't care. Alright, they've made their money out of me, and I think I've got exceptional good value for 30 quid. So, yeah, they can have it. It's things like Call of Duty charging you fucking £20,000 for a fucking skin, just because Bobby Kotick is a steaming pile of fucking shit. But hey, he's an arsehole. We're not. And yes, I'm digressing again, so let's not go there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire up level. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of development work on it. It's an old level. In fact, I have no idea which one I want to do yet. So let's have a looky. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? No, that's been done. As is that. Trying to think now. No. Yes. The Jorgensen Plateau. I did this before any DLC came out, so the city's looking a bit barren. Yeah, we'll do this. Okay. So we have our city. It's not very pretty. It's actually looking pretty bland. Okay, this is kind of how the game shipped. I think I just threw this together just to do the... Yeah, it's not exactly what I consider to be a good city. It's quite messy, in fact. But that's okay. We're going to tart it up on that. Now, we've got 10,000 people in here, and I'm going to show you some practices and how about I would go about making it look good. Now, first thing I would normally do is build a pier. So, within our decorative tabs, we have access to a quay wall. Now, you'll have a lot of this already, but there are things in here which you will only get through the DLC packages. So, if there is something on here that you don't have, chances are you don't have the necessary DLC. But, you know, in all fairness, it's worth picking them up. So what we will do is, first things first, the lighthouse. Now this is a very cool thing. Okay. Finally, we have day-night cycles. Now, unfortunately, it's only a button that you click. It's not like a proper day-night cycle, depending on what time of day you are playing at in your region of the world, which is a bit of a shame, because that would be fucking awesome to log in at night and have it be dark, or have a certain period of, say, for instance, an hour, and you have a day-night cycle that transfers over an hour of gameplay. Eden cities, I usually find, look better at dusk. Sorry, dawn. Dusk is a little bit too purple for my tastes. And then you have nighttime, which transforms everything into the Silver City. Tycoon cities look fucking awesome at night. But for now, we'll leave it at dawn. This is not a very pretty thing, so what we shall do is we'll wait for these to disappear. And what we'll do is we'll just trash these. And we'll pipette the foundries. Make a nice big harbour. Now, unfortunately, you can't expand harbours over certain areas because things like fisheries and that will need boats to, you know, be able to embark and disembark. So you're kind of limited a little. Now, I tend to have harbours as having lots of crates, but I tend to leave like a passage going through them as if, you know, they still need access to them. And what we'll do is we shall put you there. So we've got a few crates. And then what we'll do is we'll dot up.
Very progressive thinking.
Okay. And I'll put a few goods that have been accessed, if you will, tucked away. But we'll still leave an area through them all as if trying to... Actually, we'll just clean that up. There we'll go. We'll leave it like that. It's not an impressive harbour, but it's a nice little thing. And what we might do is, if it will fit, we'll put a harbour gate. And we'll just get rid of them. We shall expand the road outwards. And we will go to our tycoons, and we shall... Let's see, what have we got? How interesting. I think they must have changed that in the last patch, but nonetheless... No, here we go. We'll just pipette that. Ooh, cannot be copied. I see. Okay, that must have been introduced in the latest patch. But anyway, enough of the harbour. We've done the harbour. Let's go and have a look inside town. Now, one thing you will have that a lot of people have are trees. Okay, and these are really, really powerful tools for building trees, for making a nice looking city. And I'm going to assume that you've gone and, you know, you've built your city in the same style that I do, where you put down individual blocks of 2x houses. So you've got, you know, pretty much it's like an American city almost, with blocks all over the place. What we're going to do is we're going to smash down individual houses and create a bit of greenery in here. Now, you may say, heresy! And to a degree you are right. You're going to start losing people, but you can upgrade houses in the other part of town to start bringing those figures back into what they once were. And one thing I like to do is just create blocks of trees. It's very simple. Grab our tree, and the sign is a shortcut. Grab, and voila. Already you're starting to change the way how the city looks. Now there are some buildings which will break the block structure. For instance, hospitals. Okay. To make one of these fit, you'd have to destroy 4 houses. Alright? And it leaves a bit of surplus around the edges. So what I tend to do is I tend to chip out around the edges in the back and leave 2 bits just for the front door. Grab some trees. Voila. So simple. Maybe let's mix it up. We shall grab a flag. Like so. And what we'll do is put one either side of the door. And we'll rebuild the trees that were destroyed in that. So already you've got a bit of an interesting looking area down here. Maybe I don't want all these houses here. So what we'll do is we'll just destroy them. Okay. Maybe we shall do this. So we've got a little square area we can develop in. I'm thinking, let's have some fun. Let's put a statue in the middle of it. We'll do a double road down here, so we've got this nice uniform area around it.
Module construction Finalized.
Let's grab a hedge, I'm reckoning.
The acoustics here are really staggering.
You know, I've no idea how long this is recording for because I forgot to set my bloody stopwatch. There we go. It's a nice little area for people. And what we shall do is we shall grab that. There you go. You've made a nice little area. Now, one thing as well which can really make things look cool is the way how the light integrates with the rest of the world. For instance, you can see the shadow of the windmill hovering just gently over the statue. Again, it's not, you know, it's just something to look at. And, you know, when you introduce people into your cities, I mean, you know, you spend like fucking 50 hours on this damn thing. Be proud of it. Make it look fucking awesome, all right? Give it, you know, your touch. You know what? I think we'll get rid of that there. And we'll put some more trees. Now, police stations, again, are another annoying building. You destroy 4 houses, and they don't fit. Nothing fits. So what we do is we get rid of the road around the one side, and we just pack the back and around the sides with trees. Simples. Now, where else can we clean up? You may have streets like this where you've got 2 blocks side by side. Okay, as long as the houses have access to a road, you don't need that road. So chip it out. Get some nice big bushy trees and stuff it straight down the middle. And already you're changing the way how the city looks. Town centres, on the other hand, okay, you can change out with a glass covered one. The downside is you've got to be fast when doing it because you pull that out, everyone around it's going to start having a hissy fit at you. And it's like, oh God, what the fuck do we do? So what can be beneficial is to shortcut it. There we go, that's looking a bit nicer. You know what we'll do? We'll get rid of that as well. And stick some of there. So it can be beneficial to go to your decorative tab, grab your town centre and shortcut it to a button. Now, I don't, because of the sheer running costs of them, I tend to only do the ones on the inside of town. Like this one here. Boom, swapped. I don't really need it because I've got the monument looking after that area, but it's still something there. By now, I've got so much money, I don't give a shit. I just want to make my city look good and I want to feel good doing it. So again, what I'll do is I'll chip out a few roads here. Chip out down the back. Grab some nice big fat trees. Remember, press C to cycle them as you would do a building. And mix it up. It's looking a bit bland around here, I reckon. As long as it has access to a road, it'll still function.
I haven't eaten like that in a long...
So simple, yet so good. And what we'll do is we'll trash them, we'll put a road down the middle. And we'll put... Get out of the way, fat thing. And we'll probably stick another road down here. Perhaps we can do something about this. It has access to a road, but it doesn't need all that road around it. So what we'll do is we'll just destroy the road there. And we'll stuff it with trees. So simple, yet so good. Again, another road that doesn't really need to exist. Smash it out. Pack it. And... you know what? I'm thinking... Yeah, that's going to be a bit of a toughie. Actually, no, it's not. What we'll do is we'll get rid of that there. Get rid of that. And we'll pack it. Most people I know, they tend to stick like little ornaments on the outskirts of town. Don't. Smash it out. Stick it in there. You want to make a park? Level an entire block. Who gives a fuck? Alright? You can always upgrade houses at another part of town to get those people back in. So you can redevelop parts of town and still get people in. Stick a few trees around the water. It looks pretty decent, I reckon. Yes, getting there, I reckon. And you know what? I'm thinking my people, they need a park. Well, these people don't. They need a house. So we've got a nice big area of land. It's a nice square block. There's nothing crazy going on here. Now then, this could be a little interesting. So I'm thinking I'll put that down there. Oops, need to rebuild that bit of road that I destroyed. It's raining and it's fucking bright. I hate it when the weather's like this because driving in it is an absolute nightmare. What we'll do is we'll... Nope. Put one of these here, one here, one here, one here, one also here. I see. You may have to destroy areas and rebuild them a little, but you know what? I'm thinking that'll do. Actually, no.
Warning. Production halted.
Oh, I don't care. I only threw this city just to complete the assignment. I'd say we were pretty much done with it, to be honest. I'm only going to just tart up as an example of, you know, giving you some ideas as to things that you can do. Oh, that was stupid. And we'll just pip at this shit. And maybe what we'll do is we'll grab ourselves a nice flagpole. Yeah, like that. Nope. We'll go for a single. And we'll grab some trees. Just throw them in the middle. That's an example of a small park. It's not much, but it's something. It keeps the people happy. Now then, I'm thinking we need a few more trees. So we'll just chip that up there, put that over there. And... yeah, put some down here as well, I reckon. And what we'll do is we'll destroy that, replace that with that there. All those buildings have access to a road, and we don't need that road down the back, so we'll get rid of that. Chip that through there. We'll leave that road in the middle there, because we don't care about that too much. Get rid of the back of the police station, because again it doesn't quite fit in a 4x in a simple grid. Fill that in there, like so. You know, it's a lot of people say, no, that's being stupid. It's not, you know, just, it's your city. Do it as you will. If you want to treat them all like bastards and up taxes and basically try and run it like the UK at the moment, then by all means. But I like to be a bit different, a bit better than that. The monuments as well. I usually tend to put a double road around it, but I don't like a double road all the way around it. So what I will do is I will chip out some parts of it while still leaving some street side access to various doors and that on the side of the model. Boom. Simple.
Module development completed.
Maybe let's do this. Let's get rid of those three there.
I haven't eaten like that in a long time.
Be careful with your destruction tool, because the last thing you want to do is destroy an important building. I've done that before now. I accidentally destroyed a hydroelectric dam. Oh god, the realization, I had my finger down on the button and it was like, no, if I let go it's actually going to die, and I'm sitting there and my mate who's currently in the city giving me a hand building, he's sitting there and pissing himself laughing like a bastard, going, you're going to lose that, aren't you? And I said, yep. And so eventually I had to let go, and sure enough I destroyed the dam and everyone drowned. Fun times. It wasn't fun actually, it was quite painful. I killed so many people that day. I'm a monster. That's looking a bit better, I reckon. I think we'll chip away this area here. But what we'll do is we shall... no, we'll leave the trees for the time being. We'll grab a few flagpoles. So on the fountain. Flagpoles unfortunately were part of the last DLC, so you won't have them initially if you haven't bought any. And then what we'll do is we'll chip that over to there. That's good. So now we've already got a city starting to look a bit nicer. What we'll do is we'll expand upon this area here. Destroy these 4 houses because no one cares about them. Okay. Open up this part of town. Stick a nice fountain in the middle, I reckon. You? Yeah, I think we'll do that. Ah, it doesn't quite fit. So what we'll do is we'll double road down there, double road down here. And what we'll do is we'll get some... Now the downside is using these will cost you power, 1 point. Again, like I said, late game, you shouldn't really be having too much of a power problem. So we've got that up in there. We don't need that road on the back, so let's chip that out. Don't need that road down the back there either, so we'll chip that out. It's so simple, yet it completely changes the way how your city is seen. If you do need to destroy a house, then my advice would be to destroy the small peasant houses. Because there's only 8 people in them. You wouldn't want to try and do it to a massive executive building which holds 40 execs. Do we need a double road down here? I somehow don't think we do. So let's do that. Personally, I don't really like fire stations looking how they are because I think they're ugly. What I would like is possibly a bit of additional DLC with faction-based emergency services, like for instance an eco-looking police station or an eco-looking fire station. It's a little tiny thing, but I think it would be, you know, you don't... I'd pay for it. You know, I've had so much fun with this game, they can have a bit of cash. Throw that in there, like so. So now you can see that it's actually starting to change shape. You can see it's looking to be a bit more unique. Certainly more in fitting with the whole eco look, if you will. What am I doing? Put that onto TV. Let's destroy this house here and put a small little road through here. Like that. And then what we can do is, let's build a wall. There we go. Simple. Cost of 1 house, tiny little wall. Looks nice, and it glows in the dark when it's raining. Oh, thank you. Oh, look at that. I have a nice new cup of tea. Okay, so we just demolished that. Now what can we do here? Already my mind is thinking, you know what? I'm thinking I'm going to do this. I'll stick one here. She'll put one of these here. Remember, middle mouse button to cycle and change the way how the orientation of it. Then what we'll do is we'll grab a wall like so. Maybe I have an idea. Let's grab another flagpole because that looks cool. Flags look awesome, especially when it's dark. Ah, but I've got 4 blocks to fill. Now, having 2 flags side by side is going to look a bit cheesy. So what I could potentially do is, I'm thinking, just do that. Maybe we want to get rid of these here. Probably put another walkway through here, like so. Probably another wall perhaps, or a simple hedge or something. Let's go with a hedge, shall we? There we go. That's looking a bit better now. There's loads of opportunities to decorate your city and to make it look pretty. You've just got to know to look out for them a little. As long as the people have access to a road, it doesn't matter. You can chip roads out and replace shit like that. Again, another road I don't really need. Do I need that down there? Somehow, I don't think so. So, what we'll do is we'll get rid of that there. And we'll put that down there. What else can we do that's interesting? I'm thinking. Let's have a look. Hello, what's going on down here?
We just aren't properly equipped for this task here.
Oh no, still there. Unfortunately, I don't really care. Aww.
Oh, right. Don't get sunburned on your belly.
Yes, why not just pack that there? Can't do anything down the back of that there. Actually, I could do, but I'm not really going to bother. Let's see. You know what, I'm thinking we need a little area in the middle of town, somewhere decent. So let's have a look, see where we've got a few houses we could potentially get rid of. So we've got something there. That's a bit high profile around this area. You've got lots of high-end buildings. However, that's only a small-end building, and oh no, look at that, we've already cleared that space. Clear that off there, shove these down here. And what we'll do is we shall build another. Now I use these statues quite a lot. They're expensive, but they do look good. So a triple road, that's just going to look crap. So what we'll do is we'll get rid of that. And we'll move the statue 1 point upwards. So it's nice and square in the middle. And I think what we'll do is we shall stick a few more flagpoles through here. Maybe one in each corner. Where's my flags gone? Give me my damn flags back, damn it. Maybe. Let's have them also, the higher flag is pointing inwards. Like so. Fuck's sake, give me back my flag. Where have you gone? There we go. So we've got our flag set up there. Let's grab a little water wall, I reckon. That's not doing too bad. And let's see, what else can we get rid of? Now, I can't get rid of that road down there because these guys won't have access to a road. Well, he will. This little guy won't here, so I could potentially smash that through and put... It's not really worth it, actually. Let's just leave it as it is. We will do this, though. And see, it's so simple. Just little tiny things like this can completely change the way how a city works. Now,
Warning.
tycoons are a bit more difficult because you've got, well, greenery doesn't really work too well with their cities. Okay. You may also notice as well the way how I structure my buildings out. I tend to have level 1 and 2 cities on the level 1 and 2 buildings on the outskirts of town, but as you go into the middle, you start getting more level 3 and level 4s. So you start needing to choose roughly, you know, but what I do is I mix it up so I've got different heights around the city to give it a bit more of an organic feel. Whereas a tycoon, what I do is I build blocks based on type of building. Say for instance, this little row over here would be entirely, say for instance, level 3 buildings or level 4. So you'd all have this uniform height, but you'd mix up the height differences to give a bit of a different looking skyline. On the outskirts of town, you'd have level 1 and level 2 blocks. And then what you can do is you have an autumn-based tree as well, which is exactly the same as normal trees, but well, it's autumn, so it's like a rusty brown red. With dusk or night time, that tree actually works quite well, but it doesn't work in here, if that makes sense. You know what? I'm thinking we need a few more dotted around here. What I normally do is if I'm going to put some down, I just tap C and just randomly pepper. The thing is though, you got to be careful to not make it look like you got clumps. If you do, then just grab your demolish tool and just chip away at it ever so carefully. Out of the way, Dugon. Now then, let's turn the lights off and see how it looks, shall we? It actually looks quite nice. That turned out well. Hey, that looks good. So little tiny things like that, you know, you sacrifice some buildings to give your city a bit of a unique and personal charm, okay? And what I'll do is, give me a second, I'm going to save this and I'll take you to one of my tycoon cities so you can have a bit of a look in that before we polish off, because I honestly have no idea how long this has been running for now. Yep, override that.
Game saved.
Now, I'm not too happy with this. I don't really know tycoons that well personally, so I'm still learning with them. There we go. So we've got a fairly large tycoon city, and as you can see, we've got lots of trees all over the place, cutting in with various roads and that. But again, at daytime it doesn't really work, but turn the lights out, and suddenly it comes fucking alive. Look at that. That is so beautiful. What would be cooler is if you had more light sourcing in this, but it's already a pretty demanding game as it is. You know, throwing extra light sourcing in, like having cars having headlights illuminating buildings as they're racing past, I could see GPUs screaming under the strain. But it would be nice if you had some more, you know, indirect lighting systems from buildings. Like for instance, you can see the screen here on the front is illuminating all the street down the front as well. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. There you go. Stick a few more flags around the front here. Flying the banner of our corporalist pigs. Ha ha! Adding day and night was probably one of the best things that they've done. It's just unfortunate they added it as a DLC. But it's an aesthetical feature, it's not a game breaker. So I'm not really all that fussed. Hopefully you've got a few ideas now as to how to go about prettying up a town. But yeah, you know, by all means, feel free to send me a few screenshots of what you've been working on and that. And, you know, end of the day, you know, it's your city. Customize it however the fuck you want. Alright? You know, obviously when you're in the middle of the game and you're just busy smashing the shit out of the opposition, you don't care about decorations and that, but it's something to do late game, okay, when you've got nothing else to do. You could be sitting there waiting for research to complete and you're like, I know, fuck it, I'll go plant a few trees because I'm a nice guy like that. Or you can tell tales to the children of the town why all the trees are red. It's because you buried them. You buried their parents under the trees, and the trees have absorbed all of the blood, or something like that. Anyway, that's far too evil, even by my standards. So, fuck it. Anyway, I'm gonna disappear and drink this cup of tea that the other half has brought in, which is I think she. Hang on a second. God damn it. She always puts too little sugar in. I'll have to teach her. But anyway, have fun. I shall see you all later.